which we named the Pit. And we did that for a couple reasons. One, as you've seen in some of Billy's advertising, he likes to use the line, first off the line, first to the finish. That's the way I race my car. That's what I want for Kentucky. And of course, it discusses kind of how Billy's a drag racer professionally on the circuits. But it also plays really well here on the campaign. Our campaign's been first in discussing the needs of education reform in the state. It's been first out of the gate talking about the need to repeal the alternative minimum tax. And the first to discuss the need to cut pork barrel spending here in Frankfort government. Billy has been the first off the starting line on all the issues, first off the starting line here in the campaign. So we thought it was only fitting for this campaign headquarters to be called the Pit. Just like in racing where you keep the car serviced, keep it running, that's what this headquarters is going to be for the Harper for Governor campaign. And we hope to be a good service to Billy and only follow his example of quick speed, getting out in front of the issues, and leading to a better Kentucky. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the next governor of the state of Kentucky, the great Commonwealth, Billy Harper.
Thank you. Now Stan's gave my speech, I can say thanks for that. I appreciate you coming very much. And those of you that don't know me, I'll explain a little bit of why I'm here and what we're off and running and why we decided to run for governor. But I'm a contractor. I've been building things all my life. Grew up in that business on a farm. My dad was a contractor. I said, there's no way I'm going to do that. Well, I ended up a contractor, so be careful what you say, as you know. But I've certainly enjoyed that. Kentucky's been very good to us. We're based in Paducah, but we work all over the U.S. And very exciting. But I've always had a huge passion for Kentucky. And I just love the state. I went to school here, so this was sort of like coming back home today, although the first time I drove to UK, it took me 8 hours from Paducah. Today we made it in 4. So we made progress on highways in a few years back. But as I've progressed in business, looked around at employees, had children grown up too, but the future of Kentucky, and back when my perspective of in the 70s looking at future of Paducah and McCracken County was in education, and started in reform at that point, realizing that if we're really going to develop our community, we've got to do it through education, because that will draw the jobs, that will raise our standard of living. In the 80s and 90s, I got involved statewide in education reform in various programs. Kara came through, others, and it just reinforced that if you look around, all of our issues that we deal with, whether it's health care, whether it's standard of living, all of those things are directly related. Prisons, drugs, to education attainment level. And our standard of living, because the better paying jobs we have, we all have a better standard of living in Kentucky. So I've had this huge passion for that. As the year came along, this year came along, from the standpoint, I kept looking at Kentucky, and we've made improvements. We did an education study about 3 years ago of how Kentucky really stands and what can be done to take it to the next level. Some of that's been implemented, a lot of it has not been. It takes more than money. It's going to take some hard decisions, and people are really going to have strong leadership and move in some different directions, but move forward. So I kept looking at that, and I said, Kentucky deserves better. The people deserve better than what we're doing. We're 35th to 40th to 45th, and about any standard you want to put. And we've been that way for 30 years. If you've ever read the book, Good to Great, Kentucky's a good state. Well, it's time it became a great state. We can do that if we all work together to push it forward. It will not be a one-person job. It will require leadership, but it's exciting what we can do. And that passion that I have for Kentucky, plus the fact, if you look at the polling, we can win the primary and the general election. That's why we're running. So what I want to bring is my involvement in education, knowing how we can reform education, what we can do. my business experience of creating jobs and watch people grow and develop on the business side. As a governor, I can bring those two things together. I can bring businesses into schools and tie all of that together to where we truly do move Kentucky forward. It won't be easy work, but it can be done. The question comes up, how are you going to fund this? We need to look at every dollar we spend in Kentucky and cut out the port projects, take that money, move that into every dollar needs to go to either education, improving education in some way, or bringing a better paying job here. Everything else we need to put on the back burner until we get the standard of living up, and then all the other nice things will come. So that'll be the focus. Today has been a fun day.